because I realize it's actually worth it to record the talk before the meditation anyway. So, okay, so let's get started. We have a lot to cover, as I mentioned. So I'm going to kind of try to be as short as possible with just talking about where we are. But I always love an astrology minute, so I thought I'd share. This is an equinox that is also falling under a full moon, which is, I think, very exciting. I think last year it was a new moon with an equinox, so I find it also fascinating that now we're actually more in a really like abundant astrological moment. And so this full moon is in Pisces, obviously the opposite of Virgo, and therefore they meet each other in the middle in the skies. So this full moon in Pisces is really one that I think is kind of stirring from everything that began Pisces new moon of this year. It's really a story that we're kind of walking a story right now that's at its peak. And so if there are things that are manifesting for us, things that are kind of culminating, it's okay to be with it and not have to force yourself to be anywhere but where you are. Full moon, of course, is always a great time for energetic release and a great time to release things from your life as well. So great time to be bringing in power and also to be removing. And of course, because we have this Pisces full moon, you're welcome to be working with Neptune, who is, he's a keeper of ocean, watery emotions, but also illusions and dream and intuition, and all of these kind of things that fill our cup, so to speak. So, and what's amazing is that Neptune is actually only 7 degrees from the full moon. So we're almost perfectly aligned with Neptune right now. And I see more people on Facebook. Welcome. So let's see. That's, I think, one of the other things is really allow yourself to evoke your emotions today. Allow yourself to just be present. You don't have to analyze what you're feeling. You can just kind of feel it for once. You can kind of just release and kind of release barriers, because we're going to actually be walking through barriers and portals. We're going to be following Inanna Ishtar's journey. So allow yourself to just be moving through barriers today, especially because we are also here with the equinox. And equinox, autumn equinox, is kind of the final harvest time. Summer is usually, end of summer is the time where we're really gathering, but we're now with Mabon in kind of the Wiccan tradition, excuse me for my pronunciation, where we're honoring the changing of seasons and kind of that second harvest. So this is a time for kind of gathering what we need, gathering our crops, gathering our blessings, and also really kind of opening a doorway to our relationship to abundance, because right now that door, by the time that we're finished with this season, the doorway is going to be closed. At least in the place that I am now, which is Pawgasset land, Pequot land in Connecticut. I'm originally from New York, but I've moved out here due to the pandemic, everything with that. So, we're about to go into fall and winter time. So we're really taking that last moment for ourselves, and we can use this portal as a way to take what we need so we can kind of like the bear, go into hibernation. And the last thing that I'll say is that we're going to be working today with quite a few kind of deities, because I'm sort of a deity person. I like to personally work with Ishtar very frequently. We're not going to be bringing in the warriors today. We're going to be we're going to be bringing in the lady warrior. So I guess we're not bringing the masculine, just mostly feminine. For those who aren't familiar with the myth that we'll be working on, working with, kind of meditating on ourselves. is the story of Ishtar, which was kind of the first story in ancient Mesopotamia for the changing of the seasons. And so the story goes that Ishtar went to visit her sister, Ereshkigal, and she and Ereshkigal, I guess, didn't have that great of a relationship. And Ereshkigal is not happy to see her sister, decides to give a problem for her, which ends in Ishtar only becoming free if she chooses someone to be exchanged and to live in the land of the underworld. And so she chooses her husband because she notices that while she was gone, her husband wasn't exactly warning her and was actually kind of just partying. So she said, well, if I can think of anyone who deserves a little bit of punishment, it's probably him. So we're kind of going to be doing this work of going with Ishtar, who will be our guide as one who is an earth goddess, and also a warrior, that she will be going down. She went down and she came up. Persephone also will be there with us, as well as Ishtar's husband, Dumuzi. Hades will be there, as well as Ereshkigal. And since we're still in Virgo season, and I personally love Mercury, we will be working with Mercury as well if you feel called. So we've got a lot of energy here, and the story of Ishtar kind of going below and then coming above will be explained to you. So without further ado, I'm going to get us started now. And we're going to get into the meditation. If you have any questions, feel free to, I don't know, DM me or anything. Or if there's anything you would like to ask, actually, I'll let myself be muted maybe for just a minute, but I ask for some brevity just because I have a really long session prepared today. Okay, great. Let's begin the music, please. And everyone, let's get comfortable, get in a comfortable seat. Find a way to feel supported right now. If you like to, you can close your eyes. And we're going to start our first meditation. So take a moment now and breathe in and breathe out. We're going to do a little bit of our breath work. Just arriving in the space, arriving in this time, arriving in our bodies. I'm going to count to 9 internally. And when I say 9, I'd like you to breathe in. And when I say 9, I'd like you to breathe out. So 9. And 9. And 9. And 9. And 9. And 9. Let's take this time now to really be with our body, starting at the head and slowly working down to the feet, releasing tension and worries and taking up worries and anything that's taking up space. Breathing through body space, breathing through, kind of relaxing our shoulders and our stomach, our legs, our feet. release some worries about taking up space. Just take that space. And know that we're here to no longer shrink for anyone, but to harvest ourselves fully. Taking some time to really kind of clear out any kind of bugs in our system or things that aren't working, kind of doing an internal scan and patching ourselves up with a little bit of mental first aid. If there are any people from today or yesterday that you are carrying with you, now is the time to file them all away. Place them back on the shelf, back to their body, their mind, their spirit. Clearing so that we can move forward today with gentleness and grace. Welcoming in a feeling of comfort into our body, feeling comfort into our feelings, knowing that we ephemerally exist, we interact subconsciously and consciously at all times with great love, at least to the self for today, and back to that comfort too. We're going to take a moment now as I do some healing work on each and every one of you. Allow yourself to sit back and receive whatever you feel called to. I'll pull out some energy, return some healing and love and comfort. So allow yourself to be with the source as part of the sacred geometry of our collective today. the divine architecture of this gathering. Let it begin now. Calling us all in now. Blending sacred turkey and sacred owl. Just kind of taking what you don't need, blessing you with my guides and ancestors and a little bit of sage and rosemary, clearing you. And clearing and clearing. Just some quick kind of like pulling. Pulling and sending. Now, pulling energetically, snapping to break that energy. I pull it, and we break just some of that density that might be around you today. Just kind of breaking it apart so that you don't have to worry anymore. Snapping. Now just sending you Reiki healing. Taking a moment with each of you and connecting to your heart. Not sure where the music went, but through all of this, we are an altar, we are a temple. We are gathered under this full moon in Pisces, this harvest moon, this equinox and entrance into autumn's gateway. And yes, there are many realms, and life is simply one stop on the journey, one leg of the long path of the highest branches of the trees. So as we tune in today, let's recognize that we are here, that we are at the crossroads of fate, as we are pulling ourselves into relaxation, into a kind of peace. Behind us are the debts paid and unpaid. With us now, fortune becoming present time. And before us ahead is sculpted the impulse of the becoming, the future, the desires, and the many thoughts that will challenge us to become. Time is wrapping around us in a tapestry, a great ocean of trees, a forest of stillness, of shifting. And here we are, standing in reality. The reality that we experience, that we filter with our minds and our thoughts and our feelings. All of us are passing through the waves of quantum experience on our time borrowed, never fully belonging to anything other than the great mystery beyond our understanding. So wherever you are, if you're feeling sensitive, or if you're feeling clear, be with the beauty and connecting with the frequency of the world around us, with the ebb and flow of the waters, of our waters too. Let's check into our heart and become close to the deepness within us. There are so many threads to our story. We always have the opportunity to claim ourselves and to be rewritten tenfold. Every emotion we feel may not be our highest truth, but it is a part of our human experience, and we deserve to be one with the emotional rainbow. So be with your heart, be with your flow, be with your mind. Like the great world tree, there is earth beneath us, sky above us, and sea all around us. We are reaching up with our arms, with our crown, as branches, and we reach down with our feet, as roots. There are even branches in our brain, in our nervous system, feeling that left-right hemispheres, and balancing. As natural world, as watery existence. Because our heart is an ocean within itself, and Neptune is just as much within as he is without. The deepness of the self is part of our existence in the present. And we are temples for this heart. We are ships carrying this cup at our center across the vast overseas. And we sway with the emotional heart of the universe, being blessed now with a kind of opening. An opening to the great and unbelievable love that is for us at all times. A love that has spanned so many lives and iterations, that comes across to us every moment, and a love that holds grief and our hurts and our cradles us through our moments, through our difficult times. If your guides are here with you now, allow them to support you as we are under this full moon in Pisces, as we are open to great and powerful emotional love from Cosmos, from God, Goddess, from Mama Earth, Pachamama. And our minds are emptying, our bodies slinking into a sleepy space. And for a moment we sit here Just as we are held, I call in for myself and for yourself the dear, the gentle, Ishtar, Persephone, Hades, Neptune, the faces of the old world, the faces of the new world, the keepers of time and the universe, that have us wrapped in their great tapestry of life and open us to harvest ourselves, cradled in the branches of the world tree. May we float with stillness across the currents of life experience, mind calmed, emptied, and heart open, receiving here a vision meant just for you to heal your heart and bring in some beloved guidance, healing through multiplicity of experience, healing with gentleness, with subtle frequency, all in accordance to the great beings and the great powerful faces that have come before. And the music can stop here as we end our first meditation. Taking a quick break, maybe 1 minute, to just be back in the space, be present. If you'd like to share, you can do so in the chat. If you want to speak up, you're welcome to, but be mindful that some people might kind of still be meditating or just be processing. All right. So with that being said, please, second music, get started if you don't mind. Let's go. Let's go with Ishtar. Taking another deep breath here. And one more. Our eyes close, but the inner eye sees across time and space. The ancestors surround us all, those connected to the land, to the healing of those before them, to their wellness. Feel their presence with you, behind you, supporting your back. Behind them are the deities and the elementals, our people on the other side, so to speak, in the higher realms. We are their temple priests and priestesses, their temple dancers. We are the ones who share the late night song and dance. We are the holders of ancient memories, ancient holographic experience, ancient Akashic knowledge. Around us all is a temple, and together we can dance. We are surrounded by the harvest today. In the first cities, we were farmers, harvesters, carriers and gatherers of love and of the earth's bounty. So now we hold that ancient rhythm, activating the old ways, the old teachings, opening within us currents of being and experiencing. Opening a place for us to begin the harvest, as we have carried so much for so long. But we have also learned lessons, some difficult and some with kindness. So may we take time in this temple with these ancient ones to bring love to all that we have gathered within the deepness of our hearts. Continue to take up space knowing that you have been shunned before, but that you can heal and grow, and you can cut and snip at that which is sick, that you can still harvest even when your inner heart's plant has felt limited in some way. For today, under this full moon and this equinox, we are welcoming in an abundance and tending and collecting of ourselves. So that we become a vessel of all things, a vessel of the past in its completeness, a vessel for those beings on high that protect us and watch over us. For we are a carrier of sacred life, of the crescendo of beauty in all things, a bubble cell of lived existence, holding so much beauty and grace and so much strength. So if there's anything for you to receive, take that which you deserve. Healings to your abundant self, so that you do not have to shrink, so that you do not have to worry about taking space for yourself. Just receive. And as a carrier, you may hold with you even a basket for collection, as you are magnetically attracting these gifts, these healings, your ancestors filling your basket with symbols and lessons and love, giving you that which you need to continue your journey, that which you need to grow. That which will help you fully receive the fruits of this autumnal equinox. The summer has ended, and now we are preparing for the long sleep. Preparing for our inner growth. All that has come to pass has been like the tree, budding and growing leaves. But now here in this temple, our lessons and stories are preparing to fall away, so that we may, like the bear, go into hibernation. Like our equinox gods and goddesses of earth and seasons, we too are preparing for our trip to the underworld. As water is so ephemeral, so too can our grip be on ourselves. Practice just letting go, letting it be, letting it move, as all that comes into you now is for this great benefit of autumn. In this temple now, let us be surrounded by those great beings of this time. I invite you to take a deep breath here with me as we all connect to each other so that we may together receive. Breathing in 9 and 9. We welcome you, Mama Ishtar, Inanna Ishtar, Astarte, Aphrodite, Ishtar, Great Queen Mother of the Heavens, Holy Queen of Sorcery, of Magic, of Love, and of the fertile earth, of the fiery vitality of war, she who protects those who do battle, and she who watches over mother and child. She who is the earth and tends to the holy willow halupu tree. She who is a keeper of the bowl of heaven. She is heralded by her lions and her owls. She is crowned by bull horns. Her shoulders carry armor and spikes and weapons. Her long black hair flows like the night. Great Mother Venus, I bow to you. We are all here under your beneficence. With joy, with tears, with love, we honor you, the great passer between worlds, the great Queen Mother that we almost lost to the underworld, the goddess who died and lived again. She is with us. And now so too is that Queen Persephone, goddess of spring and nature, saying goodbye to her great mother Demeter. She holds the flowers and the lower worlds, the keeper of seeds and the pomegranate consumer. She is a holy survivor, a queen of the above and the below, green keeper, green maiden. It is autumn, and so you rise, and so you fall, and we honor you. Both of these goddesses have been sacredly tricked by those who wanted to steal their beauty, their success. But they are incredible survivors. And so let's just take a moment and really take in that absolute supremacy of this goddess being. If you feel an activation, receive it. If you feel a gift coming your way, receive that. But be with these queens, these absolute goddesses. You may also want to call in Mercury, the Psychopomp, Tahot, Thoth, Hermes, Odin. Allow all of these beings now to take us under their wings. Ishtar will be our guide, and Persephone will take her trip now downwards. Together we will follow her, and we will learn from her and heal. Together we may meet Hades, and together we may meet Eresh Kegel. But together we will also arise as great Ishtar and her husband Dumuzi. For as we begin wintertime here in the eastern United States, we are beginning the rainy season in Babylon. And so one abundance door closes and another opens. Persephone leaves us, but Dumuzi will join us. A doorway opens in our temple. Inside is shadowy and cool. It smells like winter. It feels like the sleepy-eyed waking after a long nap. It's the patter of drizzles, the silence of snowflakes, with the power of a storm. This doorway is the permeable entrance between that which is living and that which is not. So let us take in a moment and call our protection. I will pray for us. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Uhdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim, ghayri al-maghdubi alayhim, wala dhalim. Ameen. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayy wal-qayyum, la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm, له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. آمين. Ishtar, protect us. Keep us cradled in your hands. May we go this journey not to be swept away, but only to learn and to see. Thank you. We know that all that happens is not for any reason other than your divine will. Amen. Persephone, who was taken away from that which she loved, but became a queen, says one last goodbye to the waking world. She takes our hand, and together, with Ishtar behind, Mercury shifting around us, we enter the pathway, the gates of the realm of those who have passed. We are traveling downwards, sealed into the world below. We are going into this place from which no traveler returns without being changed. Our consciousness is shifting as we move multidimensionally on this visit. We are coming into the knowing that we will be passing through the portals of the autumn equinox. So let us hold on to the ancientness of our being. Let us gather ourselves and our incredible power and move with Ishtar. For as the tale goes, Inanna took with her 7 divine powers. She collected these divine powers, grasping them with her hands. As I tell the story of Inanna, I invite you as well to collect your 7 divine powers, placing them on your own body, spirit, and decorating yourself with your symbols of power. For as Inanna went down into the underworld, she put on a turban, headgear for the open country on her head. She took a wig for her forehead. She placed a crown on her head, and she hung lapis lazuli around her neck. She placed egg-shaped beads over her chest. She covered her body in the dress of ladyship. She placed mascara, which is called Let a Man Come, Let Him Come, on her eyes. And she placed along her neck a garland called Come Man Come. She placed a golden ring on her hand, bracelets and anklets on her feet, and held a lapis lazuli measuring rod. So now we will pass through with Ishtar, who carries these gifts through the 7 gates. As we go, each gate will remove shadows from you, as well as perhaps some symbols of the shadowy parts. Allow yourself to see these things leaving you as the parts of yourself that have changed. They may even have been lost. And as we move, know what it means to give up a part of yourself so that you can be transformed. For the story of those who travel to the underworld is the story of injustice, of being taken from our lives in the Garden of Eden to see the reality of hardship. So we remember Ishtar's journey as she takes us now. We are brought in through the first gate, in which Ishtar's great tiara was removed from her head. She asked, "Why, gatekeeper, do you remove this from my head?" And the gatekeeper responded, "Be satisfied, Inanna, in the divine power of the underworld. You must not open your mouth against these rites." And so we pass through that first gate, allowing ourselves to be removed of something, some part of ourself, whether it is your symbol of power that you are bequeathing for the time being, or if it is a symbol of the remembrance of power once lost. Leave it at these gates for now. As we move forward, we continue to descend in this land of shadow, of veils. At the second gate, earrings were removed from Inanna's ears, and she asked, "Why, gatekeeper, did you remove these earrings?" And so she was told, "Be satisfied, and do not open your mouth against the rights of the underworld." And so again we allow for a removal at this gate as we get closer to the center of the underworld for our wisdom. Leave whatever it is that needs leaving. And so Inanna went to the third gate, and the beads from her neck were removed. "Why, gatekeeper, did you remove these beads from my neck?" asked Inanna. And so she was told, "You must not open your mouth against the rights of the underworld. Be satisfied that the divine power has been fulfilled." And so we too remove whatever it is we need to at this gateway. And so Inanna was brought to the fourth gate, and the pins of eggs on her chest were removed. And so she asked, "Why, gatekeeper, do you remove these pins from my head, from my chest?" And so she heard, "Be satisfied with the divine power that has been fulfilled. You must not open your mouth against the rights of the underworld." And so too do we leave something at this fourth gate as we continue to descend. And so Inanna was brought to the fifth gate, Inanna Ishtar. And so her lapis lazuli rod was taken from her hands. "Why, gatekeeper?" did she ask. "Why did you remove my lapis lazuli rod from my hand?" "Come in, my lady," said the gatekeeper. "These are the rules of the underworld. You must not open your mouth to these rights." And so we move together through that fifth gate, closer and closer to the center of the underworld. To the place of full balance under this equinox, and at least where we will receive our balance. Ishtar was brought to the sixth gate, and so her bracelets and anklets were removed. And she asked, "Why, gatekeeper, did you remove my bracelets and anklets?" "These are the rules of the underworld," said the gatekeeper, "and you must not open your mouth to the divine power of the underworld fulfilled." And so we too remove and leave at this gate that which we choose to, that which we desire to. And so, at the final gate, Ishtar was brought, and her lady's dress was removed. "Why, gatekeeper, do you remove my dress?" she asked. "Come in, my lady," said the gatekeeper. "Thus are the rules of the Lady of the Netherworld." So let's pause here now, having arrived at the true center of the lower realms. Though we live in living flesh now, our spirit is understanding that permeable layer of the netherworld runs deep, and so do shadows. And yet there is a great power here as well. Fantastically intense. Let us take stock of that which has been removed of us. As we are here, and we may even be vulnerable. From separation, sometimes comes grief and distortion. But here we are to receive our wisdom. We have arrived at the place of the rulers of the dead. Before us is Hades, and before us is Oreshkego. Hades, carrier of staff and shadowed crown, friend to Kerberos, the keeper of the balance, of that which is not our realm, the creator of the winter, the quiet death, who has no judgment and no mercy, simply a keeper of that which ends. Oreshkego, Lady of the Great Place, the abode of the dead, Queen of the Great Below, she who is responsible for the afterlife, wife to the Bull of Heaven and to Nurgle, God of War. One who represents our final destination, from that which there is often no return. She too is a mother and a keeper of childbirth. She watches us, and she watches her horde of those on the other side. These two faces of death. Now we do not have to fully interact with them, but we may see them, and we may ask them for a message. Perhaps a blessing for hardiness during the months of cold and lack. As healers, shamans, priests, gods, we are all here to repurpose their knowledge in the land of the living, knowing that we are in the same world always, simply living on one side of the wall or another. We are a part of the permeable nature of the worlds of life and unlife. Our consciousness has been here before in some way, and may be here again. but is always a kind of live wire, a fire in the night, lightning through the storm. And we are the power, always evolving forward. When Ishtar was in the underworld, we know that Eresh Kegel asked that she be imprisoned. But today, she is not here to harm us, only to teach us. For the true lesson is in Ishtar. After that lady, Ishtar, had gone down into the land of no return, the farm animals, the maids and the maidens and farm hands slept apart by themselves, and there was no love, there was no creation on earth, all due to her lack, to her being missing, for she left a great hole behind her. And we must remember that we do not have to shrink away from others because of what has been taken. We do not have to be patient with those who are not patient with us. We can move always with grace and with kindness, knowing that we will always have been missed and always be loved, and that our presence is so, so valuable and so meaningful. Just as Persephone leaves and joins her husband, we know too that we will miss her loss and we will feel her lack. And so that is the great wisdom and healing to be felt here. Even these beings have been betrayed, but they are always remembered for their grace, their dignity, and for the love and for the earth that they left behind. Remembering that the end and death is an end as well as a return to the silence that is within us, and a return to our true spirit's heart. We have not come here today to be ended, but to begin again, to be reborn. Offering you the healing now of this golden healer skull. beaming you gold, browns, reds, the colors of autumn, orange. Blessing you with fulgurites, lightning rods. May you always be balanced in the knowing that every end is a beginning. Even in the saddest of times, there is comfort, there is release, there is the ability to rebuild. Behind Aresh Kagel is Dumuzi now, carrier of the crook and keeper of the sheep, the one who did not mourn his wife, shining in garments on his magnificent throne of the earth. He is returning now to bring the rainy season, filling the plains of the Fertile Crescent, to bring us the grasses so that we too may feed our stock and our lives. And he and his wife come together, and we are held by them through their mercy, their toleration, their love. We are surrounded now at the center of a star. Mercury, Neptune, Eresh Kagel, Ishtar, Inanna, Dumuzi, Hades, and Persephone. And above us is the moon, and around us is a shifting of the equinox. We receive a multidimensional healing, for we are the children of this multidimensional love, a love, an existence that is complicated, that can take from others or betray, but is still cherished and precious. May we be upgraded. O great night, great equinox, great full moon, may we be filled with moments of love and moments of spiritual truth, understanding through it all. May we remember that we are always first love. That we can carry ourselves with love through all doorways, as we are balanced under the scales of Mercury and Thoth, moving into the scales of Libra. We reap, we sow that which we reap, and we reap that which we sow, and we are beautiful in all ways. Beloved, beloved, and balanced, and changing. It is okay to want love, to receive love, and to allow for change to occur in your life. We are relaxing into our new selves, relaxing with the ebb and flow of the waters of Pisces, the waters of the river Styx, of the waters of Ercala, We are with Ishtar and Dumuzi now, called by Ishtar's transgender priest, the Gala, coming to collect her. For in this coupling, she is now ready for her rebirth. And so too are we, ready to be given new life by the Great Mother. The Anunnaki of the underworld grant us safe passing, and we begin to collect ourselves, sealing the cracks with golden leaf, crystals, rainbows, and returning. You may collect through each gateway now that which you left behind as it is changed, or you may collect something completely different. But as the story goes, the Anunnaki were placed on golden thrones, and Ishtar was sprinkled with the waters of life so that she could awaken. Through the first gate, she was led out and returned her dress. And so too may we experience our returning. Through the second gate, she was led out and returned her bangles, her bracelets and anklets. And so too may we be returned or given something new. Through the third gate, she was led and returned her rod of lapis lazuli. And so too may we receive that which needs to be returned. Or that which is new. through the fourth gate, Ishtar was led out and was returned the ornaments of eggs for her dress, her pins. So too may we receive our fourth blessing, our fourth symbol of rebirth and of change. Through the fifth gate, she was led out and returned her necklace. So let us also now be returned and reborn, again with new gifts, new blessings, perhaps new expression, new ornamentation, new appreciation for ourselves. And through the sixth gate now, again she rose and was returned her earrings, led back, almost returned to the land of the living. And so too may we collect symbols, ornamentation, blessings as we are returning back to our lives. And now, through the final gate, Inanna Ishtar was led out and returned her great crown for her head, her crown of bull horns. So too do we return with our final blessing now with Ishtar and Dumuzi. Alive again, ready for autumn, ready for new beginnings. And I bless you with a little bit of cinnamon. Instead of a shakapa, it's a cinnamon brew. And I welcome us all back to this room, back to this space. I send you love. And welcome you to autumn and to the harvest. And the music can stop. I'm going to get off of live and stop the recording here. So thank you to those who joined on Facebook. I hope to speak to you soon. And I'm here for those in the Zoom room